Morning, folks. 7:40, December 31st, Halloween. Hey, I'm a bit tired. Had a long day yesterday, and then early morning. My son, my youngest, had some weird bug with the stomach and started throwing up throughout pretty much all morning, and has been up since 4ish o'clock. So I've already had my early morning coffee, but scratch all that. Basically, this video today is a video that I've been wanting to get in the making, but I didn't want to do it during the week because I wanted to do it uninterrupted. Um, we were reached out by a client, local client, that took her iPad to another local repair shop um, here in Yuma in the mall. That's pretty much all I need to really disclose. Don't really need to say the name. Uh, didn't know it was taken over there first. She basically messaged us, assuming wanting to get an iPad repaired. Um, asked how much glass repair and everything else like that, and possible charging port. Gave her the price on it, and then when she followed back up, it was kind of weird on how she responded back. Um, Basically, let me pull up the message, and I'm not going to show it on camera. I'm just going to basically read off what she basically kind of said. Let's see. So basically, she was stating that she had a 10.2 7th gen iPad with a cracked screen. Now has a issue that which needs micro soldering. So was wondering what the issue with micro soldering. She told me about charging port, and then she comes back. She says, "Let me get back with you as they may cover the cost of the repair." And I was like, "What do you mean they may cost?" So that sounded like it was already being repaired. So she comes back, said, brought it to them with a cracked screen, uh, then said the home button would work, but not the fingerprint sensor wouldn't work, and said that she would have to wait to have it corrected. Then now all of a sudden, the charger port needs to be soldered. They had it for nearly 3 weeks, close to almost four, by the time it got brought to us. Then they said that they repaired the home button, but the fingerprint wouldn't work. So obviously the home button was damaged. So I told her, I was like, get the iPad, bring it to us so we can do a visual check right in front of her, so we can point out everything that was going on. And it took a little bit of time because I mean her occupation and everything else like that. It took a little bit of time to get it back to us or get it to us. Excuse me one second. Let me go get something to drink. My throat's drying up. Still fighting a sinus issue. So my mornings, I forgot to do my medicine. I just ran out the house and came over here. Anyways, so she brought it here, started going through it. First thing I noticed right off the bat, it was a cheap digitizer panel, which I wasn't surprised by. And after I got it opened up by just prying on it with my fingers, noticed that the home button flex was completely aftermarket. So I told her to inquire about seeing if they still had that. Long story short on that, they didn't have the home button anymore. Not surprising that they didn't have the original home button, so that's pretty much long gone. She's lost Touch ID on that since it is paired to the logic board. We were going through everything, just assessing pretty much everything in the frame, which I already have it all broken down. I already pre-tore it apart because of just everything I knew what was going to go happen to it. So just general quick assessment. Sorry, burp. So one of the first things I noticed was unusual pry marks around the battery. Or one of the things I noticed, unusual pry marks around the battery. Luckily, nothing was shorted out right there. I don't think I noticed anything on the frame. No, there was nothing visual on the frame wise. And then as for the charging port was fine. There was no damage to the charging port whatsoever. Then the other thing that I noticed on it, that it had an aftermarket LCD. It wasn't the original LCD. And she asked me, well, why would it not have the original LCD? And I said, well, unassumingly, they probably broke that while taking it apart. I mean, I don't know how they dismantled it. I know they dismantled it in a piss poor way because there was still glass inside the iPad housing. Also, when I noticed when we were taking it apart, one of the inner plate covers, or the cover that goes on the very top of where on the internal right here, there's a plate that goes straight across the board. Sorry, doing it backwards is weird. The logic board goes right here. Then you have a plate that goes straight across the top right here, which is this plate, real thin one, and it's hard to see, but this corner right here was pried up. And assuming that when they went to go take the LCD out, they put a tool underneath that corner and pried up and probably cracked the LCD. It happens. I'm not saying that, I mean, that's a direct fault, but I mean, just nonetheless, it's just one of those things. So, as we're discussing everything, I decided to do a functionality check on the iPad. This is where the shit hits the fan. So, I put just the LCD inside the iPad. No touch panel, no nothing. And when I put the LCD on, powered it up because I wanted to make sure that the LCD, the aftermarket LCD that was put in there, I wanted to make sure that it did work. And I put the LCD on, turn it on, and next thing you know, it's phantom touching. The screen's glitching like as if something was touching the touch panel, which the touch panel was never put back on for just general quick testing purposes. So I was like, why is this thing touching? Like, why is it ghost touching, phantom touching? So I get it under the microscope, and like I said, I already had it torn apart. So here's the main board from that iPad. And this is what I find. And again, sorry for my congestion. So these are your, what we call FPCs. This is what everything connects to. So this is your home button FPC right here. Simple flip tab. This is your LCD connector right here. Luckily, there was no issues with that. But then we come down to the touch connectors, which one controls horizontal, the other controls vertical. And you can see clearly damage. And if I come in closer, so you can see that's completely destroyed right here. These two pins completely destroyed, the plastic all messed up. All that. It should look like how this end looks. That end looks clean, no pins bent, everything's intact. That's how that end. Then see how this end, I mean, it's a little stretched out, but it's not bad. But all the pins are in line, nothing's bent or anything else like that. But if we go to the other end, completely fucking destroyed. Like, that pin's completely fucking bent and everything else like that. They jammed it down, and that explains basically the phantom touching. Because off the digitizer panel, some of the pins were missing off that plugs into this, the male side of the connector. Some of the pins were missing and were bridging all this together. There was one left inside on this side and then one left on this side, causing the pins to bridge. So that was causing a shit ton of phantom touching. moral of the story is that this was taken. She has taken devices there before and was somewhat satisfied, but she takes her child's iPad there, and this is the outcome of it. So basically, not only did she have to pay, she did pay for a non-functional device, left that store, paid, because she showed me the invoice, which the invoice was even marked incorrectly on that, but had all somewhat of the details of what this iPad was. And basically told her, oh yeah, well, we'll help take care of it, blah, blah. And then once I told her how much this was going to cost to repair, because, I mean, the amount of labor, board labor work, and everything else like that, and what has to be replaced on it, I mean, of course, she was disturbed by the price. Not surprised, but, I mean, a little upset about the price. And when she disclosed that information to them, they pretty much were like, and that's it. And this is a corporate franchise company that did this shit. And this is not the first, it will never be the last I see that comes from that company. Bottom line is, shit, when you take your device to a store, and I'm not saying that I'm not perfect. I mean, if I mess something up, it comes out of my pocket. It comes completely 100% out of my pocket, or my insurance that I pay for. My insurance covers it if it's a fully damaged device, if I have to replace it, which I've only had to do 2 or 3 times in the 10 years that I've been in business. 10 plus years that I've been in business. Everything else, I've had to fix out of pocket, and if it's something that I can't repair, I send it off to a trusted colleague that does board repair, that has way more extensive knowledge than I do, and I trust him doing the repair work for me, and it comes back. But this kind of shit, this kind of damage, and basically saying, oh, I mean, it's your charger port needs to be done. There's nothing wrong with the charger port. Charger port works perfectly. There's no issues with that. Breaking the home button and not replacing that or fixing it correctly, depending on how they damaged it. But I mean, damaging the board, damaging connectors on the board, and basically not letting the customer know what was done to it. I mean, that's just downright wrong. And I say this a number of times in some of my past videos, and I stated to my customers a lot of times too, there's a reason why I have an open door policy. There's a reason why when you walk through my door, you see my whole shop. You get to see the abundance of mess and the abundance of devices that we have laying around that are either still being worked on, we're still waiting for parts on, some are still going through diagnostics because just some of them are extensive repairs. Some take time. I mean, some devices are instant repairs. We know what's going on with them, and some of them we have to take time to try to figure out, or other hard to find units, like old units where we have to find odd end parts for, things like that. I mean, nothing's an instant fix like that. If you want it instant, you want it fast, go just buy another one. Plain and simple. I mean, I'm not trying to be unruly or a dick about that or anything else. That's just how it is. I mean, nothing's immediate. I mean, shit in one hand, want in the other, see which one fills up faster. Plain and simple. I'm a no bullshit person. I lay everything out online. I'm not gonna, sugarcoat it. I'm just gonna tell you how it is, and that's just the way I've always been. So when I found out, when she was stating that it was from that store, that's why I told her, bring it down. I'm going to open the device. When she walked in, I was like, I'm opening this device right in front of you. I want you to see everything wrong. And when I saw that there was something wrong with the connector, I literally told her, come over to my desk. I want you to physically see what I'm seeing. Which she took pictures and showed them what was wrong with it. And I think that's where it came in line with them. Like, yeah, we screwed up this device, and we're just going to kind of wash our hands. And the last comment that she said basically said that they will take care of me. assuming how they're going to take care of her, I have no clue, but probably not, because of just what we've known in the past on how this company takes care of their customers. This is a device that we can repair. I mean, I've done quite a few of these on FPC connectors on a lot of other devices. Never had any issues doing it whatsoever. But like I said, the moral of the story is that watch where, I mean, how can I say this? Yes, I'm a repair shop. And yes, there's 3 other repair shops in town. I know all the owners of those 3 repair shops. And all 3 of those repair shops are franchised shops. I'm not a franchise shop. I am 100% independent, 100% out of pocket, 100% me. There's nobody else besides my wife. There's nobody else in the store that sits at this desk Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., repairing shit. It's me. I don't have someone higher up to answer to. I don't have franchise fees that I got paid for or anything else like that. And I'm not knocking it. I have my own opinion on that shit. Everyone can go their way on the whole franchise corporations, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a corporate person. I will never, ever be a corporate person. Never. Because I want to rule my roost. This is my house. This is where I shit and piss. This is where I have control of everything. And if this was something that I did, I would let the customer know and basically tell them this is something that I handle out of my pocket, and that's it. I mean, I just had to do one the other day. 5th gen iPad that we repaired a number of different times. Come to find out, some of the charger ports that we were using, they were of poor quality, and it took until that last time I looked at it and saw that it was poor quality. I literally took every single one of those ones that I had. I think I had like 4 or 5 of them left, and I threw them in the trash. I wasn't going to send them back to my supplier because it's a penny part. Pointless for me to send it back. I'm gonna spend more to send them off than get them replaced. But replace the charging port free of charge because I replaced it, and upon trying to put it back together, I accidentally knocked down her glass. My fault. So I replaced the glass, and I told her, look, everything that happened to the device, it's costing you nothing because I broke the glass. I'm covering the charger port under warranty, even though that it was done almost, I think 6-7 months ago. But because I found out that it was defective, I'm not going to let it go out. So I replaced it with an OEM port, a quality OEM port that I knew that was fine. There was nothing wrong with it, and sent her on her way. And she was happy about that. And she ended up paying for her screen protector for it. That's the only thing that she paid for. But all the rest of the work was covered out of my store, out of my pocket, under warranty. And that's the way it should be. If I damage it, it's my fault. It's out of my pocket. It's my store's fault. It's my fault. It's out of my pocket. It shouldn't come out of the customer's pocket whatsoever, especially when it's shit like this. It should not come out of the customer's pocket. I'm maybe rambling or anything else like that, but it's, to me, this kind of shit, when I see this stuff come to my store and I hear it come from another shop or some dude that they found on Facebook or Craigslist or anything else that they say, oh yeah, I know what the fuck I'm doing, blah blah. It's shit like that just it bothers me, and it shouldn't be done like that. I mean, we spend money on these devices, we spend good, hard working money, and whether it's your own personal device or your child's device or anything else like that, it just shouldn't be like that. At the end of the day, you break it. I mean, depending on the damage, Let's reiterate that. Depending on the damage it sustains. Because, I mean, just because it's breakable doesn't mean it's fixable. And just because it's been repaired doesn't mean it can be repaired again. It just depends on the amount of damage or what damage has been inflicted or done to the device itself. I mean, I'm not that miracle Asian. Sorry. I mean, my eyes are only slanted so much where I can only fix shit. I'm rambling. So what we're going to do here, I mean, this is going to be complete 100% uninterrupted video. I'm going to repair this on screen. We're going to put brand new FPCs on here for both the horizontal and vertical digitizer, so the touch will work, and will work properly again. So let me just kind of shut my mouth and let's get going on this. Let's go this way. Right. And excuse me, like I said, it's still kind of, like I said, I've been up since 4 o'clock. I tried going back to sleep, but yeah, that didn't work because my other son woke up just shortly after that, and he is grumpy as hell when he wakes up. So we're going to add some flux to this. Let me weigh the board down so it doesn't want to move on me. And actually, let's get it really fast. Turn on my airflow. I'm not breathing the fumes. Might have to switch heat, because I don't know, since these iPad boards like to hold heat like crazy. Actually, yeah, let's do that. We're going to switch. We're going to burn this off really quick so we can get this off. iPad board, so I mean, literally, it's like a whole grounding plate. It'll hold a lot of heat. There's that one. Came up really clean. Do the other one. There's 2. This over really quick so you guys can see everything. How we'll clean that up, add some fresh tin to it. I have it. Just used it all. Clean up some of this solder, and then we'll add clean up the old solder, add new solder to it. So get all these pads cleaned up. So those are all cleaned up. Add some flux. Remember, folks, flux is our friend. Helps flow solder into the right areas. tip. Not hit my scope. At least try not to. Let's bring this out just a little more. Nice and clean, and then on this one too. That's nice and clean. And then we'll get brand new connectors. Brand new connectors. So I rambled for probably, what, 20-ish minutes or something like that. For something that, probably from start to finish, tear down, replacing both of these connectors, putting it all back together, which I'm not going to put it back together live on TV because I just came in here to make this video, to make my point and get the new connectors on, so when I come in Tuesday, this will be ready for me, because I have a lot of other shit that I got to take care of today. I just wanted to do a video where it was uninterrupted on this because, again, this kind of shit bothers the hell out of me when I see stuff like this. So there's this one. Some flux over the top of this just to help, and because I want to do this fast, we're gonna try to do this fast without melting the connector. If not, I got a shit ton more. Just keeping my heat just a little bit away without burning my hand. Get it lined up as close as I can and not do that. Ouch. And yes, I do my soldering a little bit weird. Some people would complain how I do it, or some people would say that's the wrong way, but everybody has their own way. What you do. Come on. Stop moving. See, it's melting. Melting! Nudge it just a little bit. Too much. Ouch. Heat. Like that. So get it real quick. There's one. Good on that one. Let's do number 2. I could have put my heat plate under it, but that thing's buried. I really don't want to go through all that. Get the hell off. A little bit so we can see that one. And remember, don't forget flux, because flux is our friend. Stop sticking to my tweezer. And as you can see, the flux is still melting because the board is still hot. Just like that. 2 FPCs. Solid. Solid. Check the other side. I'm just looking for any pins that move. Solid. Solid. So, get this, and recheck it one more time. So, we'll go over the whole board really quick. Make sure nothing's missing, nothing's floated, which assumingly nothing did. A quick check. So everything's intact, nothing else is melted, even though I use high heat. I'll do a little more cleaning up around here, and then if we go single one of those pins are solid, soldered on, and let's get this one in focus. Every single one of those pins are solid and soldered on. We'll check the other side, and that's my finger. Focus. top one. There we go. And solid. So those are now all soldered, and where they're supposed to be. Brand new connectors. So we'll get this assembled and put back together Tuesday, because I'm not doing it today. I have a lot of other stuff going on. Like I said, I came in this morning just to get that put on, tested, checked. Let me do a quick TriStar test on the board. Which I may want to still double check that, because that I really only did a quick check on. Let me figure out where the connector's at. There we go. So I might want to just replace this just for my own personal reasons, just because I don't like the way that pin looks. That pin just looks funny to me. I think it's not even showing anything right now. Oh no, I forgot to do, that's why. Forgot to put it in expert mode. No wonder why I wasn't getting no numbers off of it. Okay, so we are getting numbers. Let me just run a quick check on it. And as long as that says pass, that says okay. And where's my mouse? That says pass. Pass, pass, pass. Line 4 pass. Yep, testing line 5 now. And critically, as long as line 4 and line 5 pass, we're good. And then 6 will go really quick. So 5 passed, 6 went quick, 7 goes quick, and basically comes back and says pass. So there isn't nothing wrong with the charging port. I'm not going to worry about it. Nothing wrong with TriStar. TriStar looks fine. So everything's good to go on this. But that's my morning rant for today. October 31st, Halloween. Happy Halloween. Hopefully everyone has a safe one and a fun one. Thank you for my morning rant and entertainment of dealing with this kind of bullshit. Until next time, folks, take it easy. I'm out.